Okay. All right. It's Ebony Story here with another Wall of Sound interview. And I have here with me Chris Mackertich from DREGG. In case you're not educated, DREGG are a Melbourne hardcore / metal / rap band who create very powerful music both sonically and visually. And we're going to get all the goss. So Chris, how's your day been?
It has been cold. It's been real cold.
Yep. Join the club. Love winter. That was
Yeah.
definitely sarcasm. You can't tell over this, but we're being sarcastic. Unless you actually like winter.
I do like winter, but it's very fucking cold right now. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Look, you don't look like you're layering too hard, so I think you're coping.
I'm lucky. We got ducted heating in here, so I was pretty lucky. It's not too frosty in here, but I'm gonna have to go for a walk in a bit, and that's gonna suck.
Ugh, living the Australian dream. But actually, no, you will be living the Australian dream because you're going on your first headline tour ever. Like, literally very soon in June,
Yeah.
July. Surely you've been dreaming about this forever. Actually, why hasn't this happened yet?
Well, it's funny. Technically, it's our second one. It's just the first one we've done. So, like, we had another tour that we announced in 2021 called the Internet Tour that never happened. We played the Melbourne show, and then we went into another Melbourne lockdown. Like, I think it was like the fourth one or the fifth one or something. And then that was it. We moved that tour 5 times, and then we ended up just canceling it because we went into like another 3-month lockdown and it just couldn't win. So this is the second attempt at doing another headline tour. So this is our first official headline tour that we're actually going to do.
Yes. I think it's definitely going to happen. A couple of weeks and then we're kicking it off. So
Yeah.
nothing can stop you guys now. Obviously, you learn a lot having cancelled and rescheduled it 5 different times in the past. Is there anything you learned from doing that you're like, cool, we're going to do it this way now because we know better?
I guess there's not really much you can do with the landscape. Like, I know that there was a massive influx of tours the second everything opened up. We tried to avoid clashing with that. We still have ended up there's just because everyone wants the tour. So I think it's going to be like that for another year or so. There's going to be such a saturation of artists touring because everyone just wants to. And you can either sit and do nothing or you just got to wing it and just go out and see what happens. We haven't been yet on a headline run, so we're not going to wait. Let's just go.
100%. Do you have any special stage antics planned?
Not really. I try not to plan them. I try to just go off my noggin on the night and not plan it too much because that's when the funniest shit happens. Anything I try to plan, I end up fucking up anyway, and it just doesn't work. So I'll just go fly off the handle. Yeah, I want it to be more authentic. Just do stupid shit, entertain people.
That's cool. I remember seeing you guys, I guess for the first time at Big Sound 2019. Yeah, off the rocker. Yep. That was insane. A lot of fun. So
that was a good one. That was a Crowbar, I think. Yeah, that was nice.
R.I.P. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys put a lot of effort into your stage get up, visually, with costumes and I don't know if you call it face paint or some sort of cool stuff that you guys do. How do you come up with that sort of thing?
It's kind of just whatever everyone wants to do. Some of the guys do stuff, some of the guys don't. It's kind of just we've always just used the band as a vessel for I guess when we started the band, it was just the ethos has always been all of those regular hardcore, metalcore, heavy music mechanics that everyone's had to follow previously, just bend them and play with them however you want. We're definitely not the first band ever to dress up, but it's also not very common in the scene that we play in. We're starting to see more of it now, but it definitely wasn't common when we started doing it. And it's always just been, we're just kind of just do whatever. There was a period where I dressed up a lot and then I stopped for a while because I wasn't vibing it. And then I started again and then I dropped. We kind of just go through different waves. Sometimes Jordan will have the most ridiculous get up and sometimes he'll just be sometimes he'll just rock up in whatever he wants to rock up and play. And it's always been a vessel for self-expression and whatever you want to do. And how you look on stage is part of that. So if you're feeling pretty flamboyant and you want to be out there, go to the nines. If you're having an anxious week, you just want to fucking chill, just don't go too crazy on there's no real rules. We don't really set any rules of how we have to dress or any of that. Just whatever everyone wants to do. See what happens.
I kind of like that because you do see a lot of bands like right now-ish with a very, I don't want to say like manicured look, but they definitely are like a cohesive unit, being like, cool, we're all in this sort of, doing this sort of thing. Like Thornhill pops to mind and Void of Vision, and like they look great. I love what they're doing, but I kind of like that yours is like, whatever you feel like. You want to do it, you go. It's up to you.
Yeah, like I've always loved that sort of stuff growing up. Like Slipknot follow a theme, Mudvayne follow a theme, like early System of a Down followed a theme. System's a very good reference for who we get that idea from. Like if you look at like early System of a Down, like they were wearing like gas masks and face paint, and like that was all in their first album. And then second album, they started wearing completely different stuff again. And then like third album, they started going a bit weirder again. And then like fourth and fifth album, they were wearing like leather and like latex and shit. Like they kind of just did whatever they felt like doing at the time, and they didn't make any rules for themselves. I've always liked that with a lot of artists. Like Tyler the Creator is a perfect example. Like you can associate Tyler the Creator with a black and white polo shirt and a 5-panel from Yonkers, or you can associate him with like Flower Boy, like loud, colorful outfits. Like I think as an artist, if you have the ability, if you've created a vessel where you can be how you want to be in that moment, it's really useful. Like if I'm feeling a bit darker with my thoughts, it doesn't make sense to dress up and wear full bright yellow on stage if the recent music I'm putting out doesn't represent that at all. Like, yeah, I don't know. I've just always like thought that's like a cool way to just navigate yourself through performing, is like you're not the same character all the time, you're not the same personality all the time. Like let them come in peaks and valleys, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And the tour, I guess, is based off of your single Context, which I think is really cool. It's about what, like manipulating the truth and I guess being in the public eye, which then means you're susceptible to like all sorts of misinterpretations. And that's where I guess context is so important. Do you feel like you have to watch what you say and like watch how you come across and interact with people because now you're a band that's signed to Epitaph and you're on a headline tour and all that kind of stuff?
You definitely come under the microscope a lot more. But one thing I've always kind of stuck to is just like, if you think the thing that you're creating is good, and like when I say good, I don't mean like artistically, I mean like if you feel like you have good intention behind what you're trying to do, it's one of those things. Like there's always going to be someone who doesn't like it. And I feel like the types of guys that we are and the type of art that we resonate with, and when I say art, I mean like that extends beyond just music, like anything, like whether it's like I see comedy as like a massive artistic format, and fashion, all these things. Like everyone that has ever changed or like made an impact in their genre, even if it's minor, has offended people and has had to do something to piss someone off at some point. We don't intentionally try to offend people, but if we're going to create art that we just think is art and someone's going to find offense to it, I'm just like, that's on, like, you just don't have to watch it. You don't have to listen to it. And I think that's the big problem now with Context, is like people just take snippets of songs and snippets of videos, and they'll just take it completely out of context and paint an artist as like the worst thing ever. And we've had it happen to us. Like people have taken like parts of our art and gone, oh, can you believe that they did this? And it's kind of just like, well, we're not going to undo it. We're going to undo the art. Like, and I don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, if you really do make music or any form of art for yourself, you first and foremost make it for yourself. And if you were living in a universe where you never showed it to anyone, you just made your art and it stayed in your room, most people's shit would be so offensive. Like it would be the most, like with the traumas that people have lived through, especially like within our scene, like everyone's got their own story of like the life they've lived and why they're here listening to this genre. Like everyone would go to dark places creating their art. And I feel like there needs to be a place like this is supposed to be a place for self-expression and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, that's me. I just think I do think that things should be criticized if they are ridiculous, but in the context of what it is. I don't like when things are just taken completely out of context and just, oh, this is everything. This represents everything of this person, when human beings are so much more complicated than that.
Yep. You could even put it on like a bigger scale and just be like, oh, you know, they made this amazing album, but I didn't vibe with this one song, therefore it's bad, therefore the entire album's bad, therefore I don't like that band anymore. People
Exactly.
blow it all out of the water.
It's super common. Like, an artist will drop a song and everyone will be like, oh, well, that song sucked, so this new album's gonna suck. And it's like, well, no, like, you didn't like the song, and you saying it sucked is so subjective. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't suck just because you say it sucks.
Yeah, it's like when people say, to use a really vague and weird example, like, chocolate is disgusting. No, it's not, but you think it's disgusting. It's like, it's totally different. It's not.
Yeah.
That's your, yeah, you know what I mean.
I have this conversation with my girlfriend a lot. I don't like bananas, and I'll always say, like, oh, I don't like bananas, but I'm so envious of everyone that loves bananas, because like, everyone else seems to fucking love them. Like, I'm missing out on the party by not liking bananas, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. But that's just the world we live in now. Like, everyone's got the ability to put their opinion wherever the fuck they want to put it, and for some reason everyone wants to read everyone's opinion, and then everyone wants to comment on everyone's opinion, and then like why they commented on that person's opinion, and that's just better to do apparently than going for a walk. So that's
man.
the world we live in.
No, this feels like you would talk a lot about this, I guess, in the creative process with your bandmates and stuff as well. Like, do you guys have major conversations when you're, you know, having a big old rant about something?
Yeah, we all talk pretty deeply about this stuff, but like, we don't like sit down and go like, "Ooh, what's this song going to be about?" Like, we're always talking about. Sometimes we talk about dumb shit, but we also like to talk about interesting stuff, as I'm sure most bands do. Like, when they're hanging out, cruising on the highway or whatever they're doing. Like, and I feel like it's important for a band to like know. Like, we definitely don't all have the same opinions on everything. Like, we all have completely different opinions along the political scale, along the spiritual scale, along the sociological scale. Like, we have completely different opinions on everything, but knowing everyone's opinions makes it easier to create something that represents everyone. You know?
I like that. And I think the music video is great. Very, very cool. I feel like you could read a lot into it, but I haven't watched enough times to do that yet. But what's this whole do the DREGG thing? Is that going to be a dance move you guys are going to pull up on stage?
Well, shouts to Chris from Heists and Neck Up Media, because he made that whole video. The do the DREGG thing, in all honesty, was his idea. So I sent through a treatment that basically had the idea of, I just wanted him to be doing a dance. Like, I didn't necessarily say what dance. And then when we got a draft back and it had do the DREGG, and I was like, that is fucking hilarious. And it's become a little bit of a meme since. Like, there's just been like comments and shit, but like, yeah, that was all Chris, and that was just fucking hilarious, because it's the worst dance. Like, he's literally just putting his foot to the side and then putting it back the other. Like, it's really nothing complicated. But at the same time, like, accidental art there, like, that is the world now. Like, you do a stupid little fucking dance that is not anywhere near as complicated as the dancing that actual dancers do. And if your face is pretty enough, it'll go viral. And that's how
Facts.
It seems to go.
Hell yes,
Yeah.
Definitely. But all right, let's get to the juicy stuff. You've dropped 13 songs since signing to Epitaph. It's a bit of a tease. What's going on?
I don't know. We just did a lot of singles. Like, it was one of those things where signed, like, I got to get on the phone with Brett, who runs Epitaph, which was fucking surreal. And we talked about a plan. This was before COVID. We were talking about a plan of what we were going to do. And he was just like, what have you guys been doing? Because he was just like, I just want to amplify what you're doing. What are you doing at the moment? And at the time, we had just dropped Return of the DREGG and Hyperbole. And we had another single ready to go, which was Radio Replica, which ended up coming out fucking like only last year. But this was back in like 2018 or 2019. We had Radio Replica ready to go, and we were like, oh, we're just going to drop this. We were going to drop this song next. And he was like, "What? So you were just going to drop singles?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, why do you keep doing singles?" And we were like, "Seems to be working in the rap world. Like there seems to be a lot of rappers just going like single, 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 put out a video for it, build some hype, tour back to back." And then and he was like, "Cool, do you guys want to do a couple of singles then before we do an album?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's do a couple of singles." And then COVID hit, and we were like, "Oh. Fuck!" Like it's not like when we did the other ones where we can drop a single and then go tour it. So us and Epitaph and our management all got together and kind of set a really cool goal of let's just release a song every 6 weeks. Because like it looked like Melbourne was just not getting better, and it was like, fuck, Melbourne is just in lockdown for the next how many fucking years. So we were just like, let's just pump it out. We were just sending riffs and shit to each other back and forward, and then yeah, we smashed it out and just kept putting them out, shooting videos like kind of in between lockdowns where we could. And looking back, I'm so glad we did that, because a lot of those songs could have ended up being like an EP or an album, and it just kept us relevant through everything and kept people listening, kept people tuned in. And yeah, I don't regret it at all. And like, no, I haven't really seen anyone else in our scene do it that ridiculously.
Not
so
13.
Yeah, nah. So like, I'm a big fan of doing things that no one else has done. So that one felt good to just be like, okay, whether it works or doesn't work, we're the only ones that did it. So
it's all content,
cool.
whether it's like grouped under an album banner or an EP banner anyway. They're all songs.
Exactly. If anything, it shined more light on every song individually, rather than it being an album and there being like your 3 favorites and then filler. It ended up just being banger after banger, and it made us better musicians, because it was like everything we delivered had to be single worthy, which is fucking hard, which is hard to do. Like, it's hard to deliver that many songs that aren't album filler. There's no interludes, there's no like intros and outros. Like, it was just single. This will have a video. Like, let's just keep trying to push ourselves to get better, and like, we just want to get better and better. Like, whether we become fucking a big band or not is cool, like whatever happens there, but like, if we can outdo ourselves musically and artistically, that's the goal.
That's pretty great. I like the sound of that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no complaints. Well, I don't want to ask when an album is coming, because that's a bit too invasive and, you know, all that kind of stuff. No one knows. But when you do have an album out one day in the future, is it still going to be, obviously it's going to be banger after banger, but do you guys plan that sort of stuff? Or would you want it to be like an actual, you know, ebb and flow, take you on a bit of a journey sort of thing?
We don't really know. Like, I think an album would sound, I don't think it, well, we don't really have a sound. So like, I don't know what it would sound like, but I don't think it would just be like, oh, let's try and write a bunch of songs and put them together. Like, we would want it to be an evolution. How do I put it? It would be a risk. We would want it to be a risk. Like, we wouldn't want to take a safe bet and be like, okay, well, if we look back, Feeling Fine was a hit, Hectic was a hit, this song didn't get as many streams. We'll write songs like that. Like, it would be more of a like, okay, we've done all of that. Let's try a sound or like a way of writing music that we haven't done, and just see if people like that. Because like I said, I guess our main goal here isn't to write something that pops. Our goal is to write something that is cooler to us than the last shit. So I guess that's all I could say is like, it would be experimental. It wouldn't just be hit after hit. It would be us trying to create something of our own that no one's done before.
Something that no one has done before. Just keep releasing singles. Don't even worry about it, you know?
Yeah,
just ride the wave.
Don't even need one. Just keep doing it forever. Like, I think the vinyl collectors will get mad eventually and stop listening to the band. I can tell they're already getting antsy.
That would
Every
be
single
hilarious.
like, where's the vinyl? Where's the vinyl? I'm like, you don't want singles on vinyl, bro.
All right, well, we're midway through 2020 now. Aside from the tour, is there anything else you'd like to achieve this year? What's on your bucket list or New Year's resolution that you still haven't ticked off yet?
What have I not done? I want to, I definitely want to try and get another tour in around Australia. I'd like to do another tour. I want to collaborate more. Like, we've collaborated a lot, but like, I want to keep doing, like, that's something that the band has only kind of started doing recently. And we're kind of addicted to it at the moment. Like, we put out a track with our mate Teeter halfway through last year, I think it was. Then we did a track with Nerve, and then we just did the one with City Morgue, and we're talking to other people now. And I think we just want to do as much of that as we can, like just make music with other people, because it's fucking fun as. Like, it's sick. I think we want to get tighter. Like, we want to just get tighter at our instruments and shit. And I personally want to make some changes to my voice and do some cooler shit with that. And then, I don't know. I'm still working on
Stuff.
Still working on it. There's a few things I'm working on, but I think I want to be able to offer more vocally. I really want to write some, like, I guess, more personal songs, just so give people a bit of a, not that they're begging for it, but just to, like, I guess, give people a bit of a look into how my brain works and the positives and negatives that can come from the way I think, if that can help them in any way. And that's about it, really. I just want to keep getting better at what we do. Like, that's all I really want. Just keep growing.
We've got plenty of time to do that, which is awesome.
Yeah, got forever.
Oh, Chris, it's been wonderful chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Nah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.